Everything has its winter. Even here on the subtropical east coast of Australia, July has definitely been a winter for my sketchbooks, which is apt because it's literally winter here. But it's sad because I don't have much to share with you guys. So a couple of things that I did achieve in the past month were some paintings. I finished Girl with Horns, this one. There's more about that in another video. I also painted 2 landscapes for the Waverley Woolhara Art School 9x5 Landscape Art Prize. This one that Ben's giving a little kiss to, it made it as a finalist in the art prize, so I was pretty stoked about that. Fittingly, I filmed the process of the one that didn't get selected. I didn't film the process of the other one because I'd already done a really similar study in my sketchbook in a previous video, so didn't really see the point of capturing that process all over again. So I was pretty happy with all of that. It was a really cool art prize to be involved in. They send you out these little 9x5-inch wooden boards to paint on. It's all landscape painting, and it's all celebrating the old Australian landscape painters who used to paint on cigar box lids. So it's just a really, really cool idea, and was really happy to be part of all of that. I also finished this painting of a horse called Badger from Sundance Park, owned by Naomi Lee up in Queensland. I didn't do any documentation of the process except for a couple of snaps along the way, which I was trying to figure out how I was going to make it work. I was so nervous and anxious about not being able to execute this painting. I was also working in a real hurry because I wanted to get it finished so I could take it up to share with Naomi. So I pretty much didn't do any documentation, but that's Badger. And there'll be more about him and his herd and his home coming in a video soon. Pretty amazing looking little guy. I also did do a little bit of drawing. I did a series of 3 drawings, which was one of those times, I don't know if you've experienced this, but where you draw something and you're really stoked with it and then you don't want to draw again because you kind of feel like the next thing you draw is not going to be as good as the last thing you drew, and it's a little bit off-putting. This has happened to me a few times, especially this year, I think, because I'm really pushing myself. So every time I kind of unlock a bit of understanding or make a discovery in how I'm working, it kind of spooks me a little bit, and I feel like I've managed to do something that I'm not really able to replicate over and over again. Can't really remember how I recover from this feeling and how I sort of get back on the drawing horse, but I think it's probably the only answer is making a few frustrating and disappointing drawings and just getting back into the flow of things. Maybe what I've done is just have a full sketchbook winter and avoided drawing at all. It looks like that might be the case. Anyway, those little mermaid drawings are going to be part of their own little video, documenting this little camping trip that we went on to a place called Point Plummer. I didn't do any drawing at all while we were there, but I did get some good ideas. So hopefully that video comes out cool. We also went on a kind of mini road trip down the coast. We went south of Sydney to Jervis Bay. I just truly love going to the beach in winter. But we also got to see some family and their dogs. This is Bella. Visit some old places that we love. We got freezing cold trying to walk around the tide pools at Gerringong, and just basically saw a lot of cool and beautiful things. And on the way home, we stayed in the city for one night. So much to see. It's all pretty amazing to us. It's so different to how we live and where we live. So everything's new and different and exciting, and that's just a really cool headspace to be in. Obviously, we went to the aquarium. I did a tiny little bit of drawing. We also went to the museum. I don't know, I might put all these things together in a little video too. I think there's some drawings that I want to do inspired by the city. It's just so outside of what I know. But I'll get back to you on that one. The other thing I did at the very end of the month was going to visit Badger, the aforementioned painting Sundance Park with Naomi Lee. That is definitely going to be its own video. It really marked something different in my creative process. I've never really gone out and tried to collect ideas and images for a body of work, but I think that's what this is going to be. We'll see how August shakes out. Anyway, that's everything from my creative winter in July. Hopefully more scribbles for you in August.